It's time for another show and tell with Shay. Today we're going to talk about these lovely items behind me. If it helps you, please go ahead and click that like icon, subscribe for more, and then of course, put your questions in the comments. I personally answer all of them. All right, but let's go ahead and get started. All right, so for today's show and tell with Shay, we're going to be comparing 3 stainless steel cat water fountains, all right? Now, all of them work great. All of them would be good, but I want to go ahead and just tell you the differences to see which one would work best for you and your cat friends or your dog friend, right? Okay, so this one in the middle, if you're wanting the simplest, okay, the Pektaco is going to be your go-to. You plug it in and it runs and it just keeps on going and all you have to do is refill it and of course swap out the filter, okay? That is all it does. The other plus that this one has is it has 5 different spouts. So if you have multiple cats, that's a good one because they can each take turns drinking at the same time and they each can drink from the water flowing out of the spout versus these 2 on the sides only have 1 spout that comes out to make the water move. And then this one, of course, like I said, has 5, okay? So it's the simplest and it would probably be good for a multiple cat household. We have 2 cats in our house, Dolce and Coco, okay? And we will probably end up using this one, but we'll see. I'm gonna leave all of them out and then kind of let them choose. But this one, the Emdoro. This one right here is portable, okay? It doesn't have to stay plugged in unless you want it to have a constant water flow, okay? So if you want the water to be moving the entire time, then you have to leave it plugged in. Now, this one over here, the Petal Paw, okay? This one can run constantly on battery power. And then once the battery starts to get lower, then it will switch to motion censored mode, okay? It's smart enough to know. This one also, when the water gets low, you will see the color change from blue to red, letting you know it needs to be replaced like now, like it needs to be refilled, okay? These 2 don't do that. When they get below the minimum line and they need more water, you can see it, right, through the clear windows here, but the light still stays blue, all right? So if you're a visual person, this one's a good one right there. Now, these 2, I had already talked about a little bit of the difference here. Not portable. These 2 are portable. They run off battery power. This one is constant on battery power. This one is constant only when it's plugged in, okay? Now, what I like about this one right here, all right, the Emdoro, is it has basically a 6-second timer when they walk up. So they walk up to it, and then if they hold still and they keep drinking, it turns off after 6 seconds. So it actually makes it hard for the cat to play with the water coming out of the spout. Versus this one over here, the Petal Paw, my cat will play with the water coming out of the faucet and just get it everywhere. So typically we have to have a towel underneath it or some kind of a mat, which I think is honestly common with cats, whether it has a faucet on it or not, or a spout, excuse me, okay? This one is higher up, the spout, and this one right here is lower. Now, one other thing to point out here is if you are very much so, I don't want my cat's water going through very much plastic, this one has a plastic spout on the top, okay? These 2, it goes through a stainless steel spout, and then the part that like hugs the stainless steel spout is like silicone, okay? So, I mean, all of them are good. This one has a plastic drain, if you will, okay, that the water goes through to come back up, and so does this one. This one does not. The whole entire thing along the outer side is stainless steel, okay? So those are some of the differences there. Let me go ahead and on the 2 outside, I'm gonna tell you the different modes that they offer. So of course, for the Petal Paw, you're going to have to click on the power button. It has an auto mode. Whenever you have the auto mode, it is basically going to turn on when a pet comes near. It senses the pet, flows water out for 20 seconds, okay? In normal mode, then basically all that is going to happen is it's going to have a constant water flow or intermittent if the water power or if the battery power gets low. Okay, so those are the different modes. The Petal Paw gives you a little hint when you have to replace the filter, which the Emdoro does not. Okay, now the Emdoro's different modes. You long press the on button to turn it on, of course, and then it's going to go into different modes. The sensor mode is where the cat approaches and it dispenses for 6 seconds and then turns off until they move again. Then it has a time mode where the water flows for 15 seconds every 15 minutes. And then the keep working mode is where the water constantly flows, but it has to be connected to power. Okay, and then if for some reason you have it on time or sensor mode where it's working off of battery power, the keep working will flash red when the battery gets low, and the Petal Paw also does that. All right, so I hope that helped you decide which one of these 3 is best for you. The two over here, Petal Paw and Pektaco, has a little bit of a higher faucet to where the cats can possibly play with the water a little bit more, versus the Emdoro has a lower one, and it also turns off after 6 seconds when they approach, versus the Petal Paw that turns off after 20 seconds. And then this middle one is just constantly on and always has to be plugged in. I hope that today's show and tell with Shay helped you guys decide which one of these three is best for you. But like I said, you're not going to go wrong with any of them. The product links are in the descriptions if you want to go ahead and take a closer look at the different details and things like that that are in the product listings on Amazon. But go ahead and let me know if you have any questions. I'm going to leave these out for a while to see which ones my cats gravitate towards, and I'd be happy to answer any of those questions as well.